Chat was good, yo. Is it lagging out? I'm not sure. Yes, it was good, G. What's good, y'all? What's good, Desktop? Today we're gonna be doing some acting, buddy. Are you excited? Cause oh me, oh yes, I am. What a Bardowski, oh what a Brodek, Mm-hmm. And I'll make it stop. Oh, we're singing. Make it stop, make it stop. And around the clock. We're singing. Make it stop. Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop. Mm. Well, Dexter, we're gonna be practicing our acting. Are you ready? Mm.
New Maybelline Serum Lipstick. Maybe it's not just lipstick.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Well, it's a reunion. Last time all four of us were together, we were in London. You're there. I'm jealous. I'm here in Houston. Maybe next time. How we doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm fantastic. All right, we can get this over real quick if you all want. Anybody can take the question. Just tell me what happens, who's in it, and how it ends. Go ahead.
I wish.
If only.
We're in it. Everybody dies.
And that's how it ends.
That's how it ends.
All right. Well, we'll run with it. Zendaya, I'm going to start with you. Tell me what makes No Way Home different for your character.
Well, her
Lots of things.
her boyfriend
Yeah.
is now possibly to the world a murderer, which isn't great. And the world thinks that he's the worst person in the world. No, I mean, you know, what's been really special about these films is we've gotten to grow up with our characters and really grow with them and watch them evolve and mature. And what's been special even about the love story as well is the fact that it's taken its time. It's really unfortunate that when they finally get to be together, Mysterio does what he does.
Yeah.
So that puts a whole new set of challenges and fears and dangers in the way of their life, their relationship, but also of, you know, all three of them. You know, they all have to deal with the impact of what that means. And I think it forces them to grow up pretty quick and really use their brains to help figure out how to help protect Peter and help him in any way they can, because they don't necessarily have superpowers, but they do care a lot about him. So they're doing the best they can.
Tom, no spoilers, but what level do you think fans are going to be at when they see the shock, the surprise, the awness of it? Give me your assessment.
I cannot wait
Yeah.
to be in a theater.
Yeah.
People are
and
gonna be
hear
going
the
crazy. I
reactions.
know the screaming.
It's gonna
and
be
the shock.
crazy.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be so crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many like laugh out loud moments. There's so many like gasps
The
and
tears.
screams and
Wow,
The
tears.
screams,
the
the
screams.
laughs.
for
People are gonna
sure.
be stamping their feet.
Yeah,
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like a rock concert,
Yeah.
but with Spider-Man on stage.
for sure. That's
Yeah.
actually a good way to put it.
Okay.
And us.
And one,
Us
and
too.
us.
And you guys.
one more for you, Tom, and I've never asked you this question. When you are in full suit, Spider-Man suit,
Yes.
what is going through
Yeah, I
your
think that's
mind?
just you.
What are
That's
you
the-
feeling?
the
Because
for me
look,
is
we all
completely-
played Spider. Some of us
easy.
still do. Me
You
and walk around and do this all the time. You showed me how to do it right once. And but what do you? You're
Is it
Spider-Man.
okay now?
What are
Is
you
the mic good or
feeling?
what?
I'm feeling pretty great. You know, that suit is it's
Because I
pretty
swear down,
incredible to wear,
on
and it's
this.
so realistic that
Like,
sometimes it
this
feels like it
non-existent,
should actually
doesn't even
work.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I feel great. The suit is not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it looks fantastic, and you know,
That's all that matters.
that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I will sacrifice anything for high fashion, as
I
everybody
will
knows.
say-
I'm sitting here in sweatpants and a nice top.
this might
Yeah, I
be
have
you,
some
bro. I won't even
sweatpants
lie.
underneath here.
Well,
I
it-
would say though it is funny,
Hello?
like watching you have to unlearn going
Yeah, I know.
because the sound, it's weird doing it without the.
Hello, hello, hello. Is it working? Bro, I don't get, like, it's like the mic has a volume button that does nothing. It is up in OBS. Hold on, let me check. Let me go to my
The
settings.
You're really
noise.
good at that.
Well, you'd hope so. I've been doing it long enough.
But I'm just saying.
Settings. But it was. Okay, wait. It's like I don't know what's going on with the Yeti. I need to search this up. How do I? Because why is this so low? Like, there's no reason for it to be so low. Okay, we're searching this shit up together.
Today I'm going to be talking you through on all the settings and free software you'll need to make your Blue Yeti microphone sound its absolute best. Let's get to it. We'll start by downloading the virtual audio cable software. The second link for Voicemeeter is the same process.
I didn't even hear myself. Hold on.
Start by installing the driver first. Make sure you right
Okay, so I see it. The issue is that when I'm talking like with this thing on, it's just so
click and run as administrator. You'll need to reboot your system to finalize installation. Repeat the same step for Voicemeeter installation. You're going to load the settings that you download.
Bro, that's so much work. Let me check if there's an easier option.
If you have a Blue Yeti mic, then here's how to make it sound better. First, you want to launch Logitech G Hub app. Then click on your microphone. Then head over to Browse. In here, you will find a bunch of community-made presets for your Blue Yeti mic. Select which ones you like, then download them, and then test your microphone. Anyway, if you have a Blue Yeti mic, then here's how to make it sound better. First, you want to launch Logitech G Hub app. Then click on your microphone. Then head over to Browse. In here, you will find a bunch of community-made presets for your Blue Yeti mic. Select which ones you like, then download them, and then test your microphone. Anyway, if you have a Blue Yeti mic, then here's how to make it sound better. First, you want to launch Logitech G Hub app. Then click on your microphone. Then head over to Browse. In here, you will find a bunch of community-made presets for your Blue Yeti mic. Select which ones you like, then download them, and then test your microphone. Anyway, if you have a Blue Yeti mic, then here's how to make it sound better. First, you want to launch Logitech G Hub app. Then click on your microphone. Then head over to Browse. In here, you will find a bunch of community-made presets for your Blue Yeti mic. Select which ones you like, then download them, and then test your microphone. Anyway, if you have a Blue Yeti mic, then here's how to make it sound better. First, you want to launch Logitech G Hub app. Then click on your microphone. Then head over to Browse. In here, you will find a bunch of community-made presets for your Blue Yeti mic. Select which ones you like, then download them, and then test your microphone. Anyway, if you have a Blue Yeti mic, then here's how to make it sound better. First, you want to launch Logitech G Hub app. Then click on your microphone. Then head over to Browse. In here, you will find a bunch of community-made presets for your Blue Yeti mic. Select which ones you like, then download them, and then test your microphone. Anyway, if you have a Blue Yeti mic, then here's how to make it sound better. First, you want to launch Logitech G Hub app. Then click on your microphone. Then head over to Browse. In here.
Oh, hold on. Nigga, I'm so stupid. It's because I'm far away. Hold on. Let me take a pee real quick. Somebody put some shit in my ass, nigga. Cause I checked my book, like, man, if somebody put some shit in my ass while I was sleeping, man. I'm like, that's kind of crazy, y'all. Y'all is looking around. Yo, am I better now? That's up. That's a bit better now. Why is this sound so weird? Hello. I need to see how it sounds with the audio over. Okay, I think I was just simply far away from it. Okay, I'm trying to see how I sound. Hopefully
Jacob,
this is better.
This question is
Yo,
for you.
what-
I
what-
want to know how this movie, being a part of these movies,
Hold on, I missed it.
has
I want to
changed
see how I
your
sound
life.
with these.
It's changed my life tremendously. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like I was living a very, very normal.
Nigga, why is he not? Hold on, the delay for me is just.
normal
Hello, I'm
life
trying
and
to see
that
how
I
I
had
sound
no
with
sort
this
of
thing off,
connection to the
with the
industry
audio
whatsoever. You know, I
So
was
Jessup,
just,
is it
I
better
was going
now,
to
even
drama
while
school,
the
and so I feel like I was
shit is
very
playing,
much
like,
thrown
can you
into
still
the
hear
deep
me?
end in that sense. And you know, I'm very, very thankful to have been a part of such a crazy, you know, influential sort of franchise. And it's changed my life personally, professionally. You know, my career has been amazing, and I really owe it all to people who give me the chance to be on these films. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's changed my life. To say that it hasn't changed my life is ridiculous. I mean, it's changed my life in every aspect of it. So, I'm grateful, and I'm very, very happy to, you know, continually move forward with my careers. So we all are. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I'm very well aware of that. Listen, great to see you all. Stay safe. Happy holidays. And again,
Thank you.
Thank
this
you,
is great job. Seriously.
Thank
great
you.
job.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
See you next
Take care,
time.
Hmm. Alright, cool. That's that. We're gonna search up, like, we're gonna watch a video about acting real quick, okay? Then we're gonna try and maybe see if we can utilize the skills, or if we should call it there. Who knows? That's that. No. Who knows?
With Vinted's new categories, you can now sell even more pre-loved items. Don't use it, sell it.
When you're playing Miles Morales, you're doing a lot of physicality. So whether it's on the mocap stage, I'm giving my all, or whether it's in the booth, I'm actually swinging, I'm actually punching, and I'm actually doing all the motions that are required into Miles. When you hear all those hard breaths and tones in the game, those are real. Hey, what's going on, you guys? I'm Najee Jeter, and this is how I became Miles Morales in Marvel's Spider-Man. Character Miles Morales came about in my life, and I want to say 2017, but I was maybe around 19, 18 years old playing Miles as a 13-year-old on Disney XD.
It's me! Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
PlayStation called me over saying, hey, we're doing a reading for Spider-Man. Do you want to join? And I said, heck yeah. I want to say it wasn't too long of an audition. We had fun. It was Yuri and I believe it was the reveal, me telling him something is changing, and me not knowing that my man Pete already had the same situation going on. He kind of came at it as a big bro, thought it was puberty.
All starts in the pituitary gland. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
What's so crazy, Yuri was actually on that TV show with me on Disney XD. Well, the relationship between Pete and Miles, man, it's a heartfelt one because that's Big Bro, and he's Big Bro on and off camera. He kind of guides me with just advice and just acting skills that he has incorporated for Pete to have with the Spider-Man and Miles. My performance in video games, man, starting off with The Last of Us, I was a kid. Playing Sam, I was maybe like 13 or 14. Stepping into the mocap world as a kid, that was shocking.
What if they're trapped in there without any control of their body? I'm scared of that happening to me.
Remember when they flew me to Serbia and they had to scan my face, I kind of felt like, okay, this is gonna be something different. Getting your face scanned is crazy. You know, you're sitting in a chair and you have maybe like 90 cameras around you in a sphere. You're just sitting there and then they're flashing away and you're making different facial expressions here and there. So going through that was mind-blowing.
Genki was right. Your friend picked up a signal from this satellite. Let's see what we're working with.
Miles is way smarter than me, I'll tell you that. Miles is a tech genius and he knows what he's doing when it comes to the science and the arts. So man, Miles is ahead of his time when it comes to his mentality. Miles and I have a strong, similar connection of our background. Just little situations that we go through. He's lost his father. I was raised by a single mom. Just took from my personal experiences when it came to emotion and losses that he has to go through. I'm also Jamaican. His culture background too, with his mom, and is amazing. So, and I shout out to Jackie. I love you, mama. When you're playing Miles Morales, you're doing a lot of physicality. So whether it's on the mocap stage, I'm giving my all, or whether it's in the booth, I'm actually swinging, I'm actually punching, and I'm actually doing all the motions that are required into Miles. When you hear all those hard breaths and tones in the game, those are real. For the training of Miles, we had a pamphlet that we had to go through, and it was of different poses. You had the aggro pose, you had the idle pose, and then you had the perch pose. They gave me some homework, and I went home with it and tried to do all the stretches that I could possible. But we have a great stunt team as well, because when you have a camera attached to your face, it's only so much you can do. So we did do a couple of flips and some tricks at the parkour studios. Couldn't go too much with it with the camera attached to your face, but it's fun, man. When you really get into it, you get to be a big kid again. The script for an open.
Cool.
He's a Christian, but he doesn't take initiative to serve at the church. He's a Christian, but he doesn't believe in marriage.
Huh?
She's a woman of God, but she's the financial provider.
Clock it. The Lord will provide. He's a Christian, but he has a girl best friend. He's a Christian, but he doesn't take.
I don't know why you like. Not actually finding the guy who I'm looking for, so. Oh, it seems like we are gonna have to search him up. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Guess, are you still here? Oh damn, Jessup's gone, chat.
Clothes. Who needs them? They can be scratchy and uncomfy. That's why you need the Fairy Dream Team. Fairy Liquid detergent for a gentle clean and softener for extra softness, making fairy clothes the next best thing to naked skin. The Fairy Dream Team. There's soft and there's fairy soft.
I have a 134 IQ. I make less money than friends who barely passed high school. Here's what I finally discovered. Last week, a kid I tutored in high school posted on Facebook.
Good actors make it seem effortless, like anybody in the world can just get on screen and be an actor. But that's actually further from the truth. So today we're going to be showing this by breaking down the acting in 1-star movies all the way up to 5-star movies based on Letterboxd. I'm Tristan Spohn, a professional actor that's appeared on Netflix, Paramount Plus, and Peacock on some of the following shows. And we're going to start with Tommy Wiseau in the room.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny, what's up?
I have a problem with Lisa.
It's kind of obvious why this isn't great. He clearly doesn't believe the words that he's saying. We need to feel like something is at stake, and he is just way too casual for it to feel like it actually matters that he is being accused of hitting Lisa.
I don't have to worry about that because Lisa is loyal to me.
Yeah, man, you never know. People are very strange these days. I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark.
Like, that's such a weird... Now, obviously, it's weird that he laughs at that, right? You'll have actors that don't actually listen to what the other person is saying and will just barrel through the script. He doesn't care about what the other person is saying. It's your cliche, bullshit, now it's my line.
I'm so happy I have you as my best friend, and I love Lisa so much.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you are very lucky.
Well, maybe you should have a girl, Mark.
Yeah.
Facially, he's doing fine, but vocally, I don't believe anything he says.
Well, what happened? Remember Betty? That's her name?
You're here because we're learning.
Betty?
Hope you're here.
Yeah, we don't see each other anymore. You know, she wasn't any good in bed. She was beautiful, but we had too many arguments.
That's too bad. My Lisa is great when I can get it.
Oh, man, I just can't figure women out.
I don't see any relationship behind the eyes. He's just like, oh yeah, women are either dumb or stupid or evil. He can have some type of substitution he can inject so he can still evoke the same intention without he himself having to hate women. So for me, it would be about reliving. So thinking about one of my exes and think about some of the things that she would do to try to manipulate me. Yeah, women, they're either dumb, stupid, or just straight evil. Where it's clear I'm reliving it instead of just saying it. So, all of that being said, let's now go to our 2-star performance of Gal Gadot in Justice League, the 2017 version.
Superman is...
Okay, so that one was, the issue with that one, right? There was no emotion in his vocals, almost like he didn't believe what he was saying. He wasn't really taking out what the other person was saying. And there was no really emotion behind the eyes, like there was no story behind his eyes.
Dead. We all wish he weren't.
We don't know what state he's in. We know we can't bring him back. But this is science beyond our limits.
Technology is like any other power. Without reason, without heart, it destroys us.
I do think Ben Affleck is a phenomenal actor, but there's this really weird counterplay between him and Gal, where Ben is kind of trying a little bit too hard to sell the stakes. Like he's getting very breathy and he's really emphasizing what he's saying, versus Gal is not trying at all to communicate the stakes. She's just saying it. And so we have this incongruent scene that doesn't really make us feel anything. It's almost impossible for the stakes to not be higher. You're literally talking about lives being destroyed, but it seems as though maybe Ben could be feeling like he needs to overcompensate for the lack of stakes that Gal is bringing.
We don't have time for a control group. Is it a risk? Yes, but it's necessary.
Why? Because of your guilt? Bruce, I was there.
In film, every single moment matters. Those sighs that don't add anything to the actual story are gonna take a toll. The sighs that work are the sighs that are there because we have this thing that we now have to digest, and it actually works to give the audience a little buffer point to digest what just happened. Other than that, to have a more cinematic sigh, you actually want the sigh to come out with the line. It could just be, why? Because of your guilt? Bruce, I was there, where now the intensity of the sigh comes with the line, so you still get the impact without getting the pause, without getting the break.
Bruce, I was there. You didn't kill Superman.
She's also very stiff. It feels like she doesn't feel comfortable expressing herself with her body.
At some point, even you have to learn to move on.
Steve Trevor tell you that?
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible.
Nina can't code.
Interesting.
See, like now she has the action and now she has a little bit of movement. But in most movies and shows, you will almost never see two characters just standing and talking to each other. That's kind of what they're doing in this. They're just...
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is the emotion. It's not like in real life, of course, if people are dying, both people are like, but it's like, it's not overdoing it, because of course they have to seem more real. But with him, it's like almost like too theatrical, sign and all that stuff, trying to overcompensate for her untheatricalness.
Standing and talking to each other. Now, just to be clear, I'm not trying to roast actors in this video. There are so many factors that go into projects being made, so many creative forces behind. There are so many mistakes that can pile up on top of each other to make a movie ultimately not land. So it's not saying, oh, this human being is a terrible, atrocious actor. It's just giving an explanation of why the acting could have played a part in this project receiving a lower rating. Now let's move to our 3-star performance, which is not anything offensive, but not necessarily anything groundbreaking. We have Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock in The Lost City.
Oh, holy Christmas. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Do you think you could get me out of here?
Yeah. Okay.
Is that a nail filer?
Yeah.
Can you just whip it?
It's working.
And maybe next time I toss a gun at you, you can catch it instead of ducking.
How about the next time you toss a gun and you say, hey, Alan, catch! And then, maybe do that before you throw.
They have what we didn't have at all in the scene before this, which is a very clear relationship and chemistry. Both of them feel like they're actually playing off of each other, whereas Ben and Gal, they felt like they were in two different scenes, versus both of them are perfectly capturing the tone. And we're only a minute in. They've had more things change in this scene than all of the Justice League scene or the Room scene.
You say, here, I toss you a sweatshirt. You say, here, I toss you a pen.
How about just, hey, catch, gun, anything that you want to throw and I'll catch it because you've said catch and I'll catch it because you said it. That is also an option and then we would have a gun with us. That's the thing. Be careful.
Okay, we need a call. We need a call for help. Get to the airport and get out of here.
Why are her stakes 1,000,000% more clear when it's just, oh yeah, we need to get help and get to the airport, versus Justice League, oh yeah, millions of people will die. And yet she is way more on a mission than they are. Like, she clearly is actually connected to what is at stake here.
Okay, call for help. Where's your phone?
Big change. That's all we really needed from that scene. He made me laugh, and they did a great job with what they needed to do. So now we're gonna get to the super good, super spicy stuff with the 4-star performances. Much more fluid Adam's movements are than Ben and Gal's movements were in Justice League. He feels so much more comfortable in the space. Some instances in all of the other scenes, it's more about their line where their delivery is more interesting than their reactions. But with Scarlett, I feel like her reactions are more interesting than her deliveries, which is a sign that you're more invested in the other person than you are. You're the perfect example of what I talked about earlier, where a scene needs to have both external and internal moments. You both have moments he's directing straight at her of you did this to me, and then he's having those moments where he's kind of reliving things that happened to him. So you have both the external and the internal arc to the scene. The external and the internal journey happening simultaneously. A lot of actors that do this scene really poorly just spend the whole time yelling at each other, and it's just like surface level anger. There's nothing deeper beneath the surface. Versus Adam and Scarlett, there is this deeper meaning behind the words. They're not just saying exactly what they're thinking. There are other things going on beneath their surface that tie into the intent of what they're saying. And we're kind of getting to that here. The first part is just, I hate you, you hated me, blah, 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 blah. And now we're actually getting to the core of where it comes from. And this is why it's such a famous acting class scene. So many actors overdo this scene so much because this is the epitome of a scene that you end it and you're able to hit the intensity that every actor thinks signals great acting. Now again, Scarlett and Adam actually do this in a very strong manner. There's clear history there, and there's also clear subtext. And it's not just screaming to be loud, it's screaming from this sense of release. And see, Scarlett is letting him now affect her. She's actually taking his sobbing and letting it impact her and change her, which is something we've not really seen anybody else do. Okay, now finally, let's see our 5-star performance with J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller in Whiplash.
Got Buddy Rich here. Little trouble there. Let's pick it up at 17.
Miles Teller, it's very subtle, but he let that completely change his disposition, where there have been multiple ways that establish JK's authority by how much he is respecting JK. This is kind of similar to one of my favorite Oscar Isaac quotes when he was being asked how he was such a believable father to Timothée Chalamet. And one thing he said that stuck with me is the only reason I was believable as Timothy's father was because of what he did. He treated me like his father, which makes you, the audience, believe it. And so whenever you have these positions of power, you can be as intimidating as you would like. It doesn't work if no one around you is intimidated.
Introducing Grammarly, like you've never seen before. Your all-in-one writing essential. The best writing reflects you, clearly and responsibly.
Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman?
I don't know.
Sure you do.
The tempo?
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
This is a master at intimidation and power. And the mistake a lot of people make with positions of power is they just go yelling too quickly. So the fact that he is committing a kind of violent act without raising his voice is what shows the power that he has in the scene, more than if he hurls it and he's like, "Why do you think I did that?" Going all drill sergeant on him. The fact he's so controlled in the violent act while having complete control vocally and physically over himself is what makes him feel powerful. And he's not feeling like he needs to do anything, but just study him.
I don't know.
Start counting.
5, 6, 7.
In 4, damn it! Look at me!
1, 2, 3.
And now he's losing that control. Going from controlled violence to then you start losing that control, that's what makes you afraid of what they're going to do next. He builds up to the power. Don't think I'm saying never yell if you want to be considered someone in power. It's to say don't yell because you think that is what makes you powerful. It works when it comes from the intention of control, or specifically losing control. And people in power know that their volume is a metric of their level of control, not a metric of how powerful they are.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4.
Rushing or dragging?
Rushing.
So you do know the difference! Sight read measure 101. What are you, in a acapella group? Play the goddamn kit! Stop! Now answer my question. Were you rushing or were you dragging?
He's completely destroying him in every form of the word, yet he is completely still. And it's because JK knows, even though he is losing control of himself in this moment, the eyes are the thing that anchor the scene. And if you have too much extraneous movement, you dilute the power of your eyes. And so even though JK is going off on him, he's going off on him in a way that allows his eyes to still remain the primary focus of the scene.
I'm upset! You are a worthless, friendless, faggot-lipped little piece of shit whose mommy left daddy when she figured out he wasn't Eugene O'Neill, and who is now weeping and slobbering all over my drum set like a 9-year-old girl.
I love how unassuming he seemed in the beginning of this. Just like, oh yeah, cool, chill guy, getting the band together. He allowed himself to like have these very minor corrections. And oh yeah, no, you're totally good, before then reaming him to shit. That contrast is what makes this side of him coming out so terrifying, because of how unassuming the beginning was. A lot of actors would play this and they would start already aggressive where they're showing their cards too early, because part of them might not trust that they can hit the zenith that they need to once they're starting to actually scream at him. So I love that JK hid his cards until the time it was ready to actually utilize them.
Say it louder! I'm upset! Carl.
The volume has a very specific intent in this. He's screaming with a purpose, whereas so much of Marriage Story was just versus this, again, the difference is what allows the screaming to really make the full impact that it can. I'm not saying that as a knock against Marriage Story. That's how arguments go, and specifically screaming matches. So I'm not saying that that was necessarily bad or anything like that. It was phenomenal acting. I'm just saying that that is what takes this to the next level. Go ahead and click the links below or scan the QR code if you would like more information on the acting lab. And if you want me to break down my own performance, where I showed the quality I think it was in the role I'm most known for, check out this video where I react to myself with fellow Stranger Things actor Logan Riley Bruner to our scenes in Stranger Things 4.
Hold on, let me pee real quick. I learned a couple things. I'm gonna pee and we're gonna talk about what we learned from that video. Why am I stuck? What's going on? My screen is stuck. Microsoft Edge is not responding. No. That is a bad thing. Oh yes. We do not like to see that. Oh no. What I really learned from that was that, okay, so the stakes is where is like really at, like how you engulf the stakes within your acting is super important. That was what I learned from that. Because it's like all these people, like there's no really any stakes there. There's nothing at risk. Like that's what he's essentially trying to say. How you convey the stakes as naturally and real as possible can differentiate good from bad.
If I was cyberbullied, you put your arm around me, right?
If the videos on my feed tried to push me to extremes, would you intervene?
What if I was pressured into a dangerous challenge?
Oh, I know that you've seen Oscar-winning performances in horror movies, but I bet you've never quite been able to place what makes them so captivating. Well, I'm gonna help you out because today we're gonna be breaking down a beginner, intermediate, professional, and Oscar-winning actor take on the exact same scene from iconic Jordan Peele horror movie, Us. This scene involves a young woman and her family meeting their doppelgangers, and the doppelgangers force the family to listen to the story of why they even exist in the first place. So our actors are going to be very challenged today as they play both the villain and the victim. I am Tristan Spohn, a professional actor that you might have recognized from a couple of these shows. And we're gonna start with our complete beginner, who at the time of recording did not have any major acting classes under her belt.
When the girl ate, her food was given to her, warm and tasty. But when the shadow was hungry, she had to eat rabbits, raw and bloody.
It doesn't necessarily feel as though she actually experienced what she's talking about. She has this certain level of detachment from her words, and I want this to feel a little bit more exposed. And right now, Mai is doing it at the exact same pace, with the exact same volume and the exact same tone.
Time passed. They both got older. And one day, the girl met a handsome prince and fell in love.
You meet this doppelganger, evil, dark side to you, and it seems like you're just listening to her like she's a normal person.
They had to cut her open and take him from her belly. The shadow had to do it all herself.
Yeah, I think that could horrify you a little bit more. Having your insides completely cut open and you're the one that has to do it because no one else is going to help you. I think you need to relive that. If we look at your reaction as light side of you from the beginning, you look the exact same, like her monologue has not affected you in the slightest. If we cut all of your reactions, it would have zero impact on the final scene. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put great job. Here is the feedback I recorded for the video. And remember, we're going to watch all the way up to a Oscar-winning actress take on this exact scene. But next, let's check out our intermediate to see how he does it with a few years of training under his belt. Carson.
Once upon a time, there was a girl. The girl had a shadow. They were connected, tethered together. So whatever happened to the girl happened to the shadow.
I already see Carson's light side of the character actually studying this new version of him. And you even see a difference in just the disposition, where the shadow side has his shoulders back, great posture, versus the light side of him is a little bit more hunched over, which makes him come across a little bit weaker.
But when the shadow ate, she had to eat rabbits. Raw. Bloody.
The very quick jittery movement makes it feel more unpredictable, like you don't really know what he might do next. Us as the audience, in turn, feel like he is doing something a little bit more unpredictable.
Her toys were sharp. It was sharp and cold.
I think that he had a really strong idea that then he beat a little bit too over the face. If he did just 20% less, it would have played better because it would have felt less like an actor making a choice and more like something actually going on.
That's when the shadow met Abraham. Didn't matter if she loved him or not. He was connected to the girl's prince after all.
He's reacting with the intent of showing it's affecting him instead of actually understanding why this is disturbing, which then makes the impact it has on him a byproduct. Neither Carson or Mai have fully nailed the light side of the character. They're listening, but not being affected. They're not being changed by what the dark side of them is saying. Great job. What an undertaking this scene was. Here is my full uncut feedback. Before we see how our Oscar winner did this scene, let's take a look at our pro, Nina from Croatia, who a lot of y'all that watch this series definitely recognize. We want to try to have different actors in the pro spot, but we just felt like this so perfectly matched Nina's strengths that we wanted to bring her back for this one as well. Nina was the lead of a local show in Croatia, along with recently booking another really cool part, meaning she does regularly get paid to act consistently.
Once upon a time, there was a girl, and the girl had a shadow. The two of them make it better together. So whatever happened to the girl happened to the shadow.
I love that she played with depth. Both Carson and Mai were on the exact same plane the entire time, and it really creates this creepy, foreboding energy for us to not really get a full, clear look at her until she gets closer. And if you just look in the eyes too, she's done such a great job of showing a complete difference in her eyes. And I think Carson, both of his characters had this like brooding intensity to them, versus Nina, her light side comes across very naive and innocent in the way that she's holding her eyes, versus the dark energy, it comes across a lot more sociopathic.
Her food was given to her warm and tasty. But when the shadow was hungry, she had to eat rabbits. raw and bloody. On Christmas, the girl received wonderful toys, soft and cushy. The Shadow's toys were so sharp and cold, they'd slice through her fingers when she tried to play with them.
This is the first one that is actually giving me the tingles. She feels so much more connected to what she's saying. And she, I guarantee you, has allowed herself to disassociate completely. You have to be willing to run extremely dark thoughts in your head to be able to capture this haunting of a look in your eyes. It's clear she's not trying to be creepy. She's just occupying a creepy headspace.
Head and Shoulders? I didn't know you had dandruff.
I don't. You don't have dandruff with Head & Shoulders. Our new formula helps wash away dandruff and oil, and now delivers double the protective ingredient on your scalp to prevent dandruff coming back. New Head & Shoulders for up to 100% dandruff protection.
What's it like having Sky with Netflix?
Well, you can discover the dark secrets in Undersalt Marsh, and then step into the scandals of Bridgerton.
You must begin the proper way. Kind of feels like going somewhere new every night, but telly.
Get Sky with Netflix for just €17 a month.
The time passed. They both got older. The girl met a handsome prince and fell in love. The Shadow, at the same time, met Abraham. It didn't matter if she loved him or not. He was settled to the girl's prince after all. Then the girl had her first child, a beautiful baby girl. And Shadow, she gave birth to a monster. Humphrey was born laughing. Then the girl had her second child, a boy this time. They had her slice her belly and take him out of her. The Shadow.
I appreciate that light side of Nina is incorporating more of the environment. She's doing what I wished Carson did, where she's showing that she's trying to escape before the actual escape happens. However, she's a little bit too preoccupied with the escape. We need to find a healthy balance of both, because it doesn't really feel like she's absorbing what Darkseid is putting down. I wanted Darkseid to have a bigger impact on her. The light side of this character is the hard part, right? You have to play both the environment, the stakes, and also let the darkness impact you and change you. And I've not really seen any of them three have the dark side change the light side. The light side has been playing the same intent with all three of them so far, and I guarantee you we're gonna see a change in the Oscar winner. And Nina puts on a masterclass of showing why the eyes are the most important part of every single scene, because she's not really doing anything with her face. It's just her eyes that are communicating this truly demonic version of the character. And I think that Mai was creepy, Carson was violent, Nina is demonic. And there's a very clear kind of build up between all three of them. Now, before we get to our Oscar-winning actress, how would you like to not only potentially meet, but also have a chance to perform in front of an industry expert that has worked on other horror projects like Stranger Things Season 5? Well, that will be our first special guest in this season of madness in our online acting community, The Acting Lab. Every month during the final quarter of 2025, we're going to be hosting special casting competitions where the winners will be selected by special guest industry judges. And October is, of course, a special horror-themed competition with special guest judge Brad Tobler. He's a director, editor, and visual effects artist that most recently worked on the final season of Stranger Things. He's also worked on projects such as Avatar, Free Guy, and even Star Wars. So if you would like to meet him and potentially perform in front of him, then you have until Sunday, November 2nd to join our acting lab. We're going to be announcing the other special guests to this season of Madness soon, but at least in the meantime, these are the deadlines up on the screen for each of these competitions. So the sooner you join, the more you'll be able to take part in, and the more chances you have to perform in front of special industry guest judges. But hey, better late than never if you're seeing this video a month after it came out. And aside from the competition, you'll also become one of my own students, much like all of the students that you saw in this video, getting regular feedback from me on your auditions and actually meeting you and helping you along your acting career. Now we're gonna see Lupita Nyong'o, our Oscar winner, take on this scene from the original movie.
And the girl had a shadow. The two were connected, tethered together. When the girl ate, her food was given to her warm and tasty.
Already, Lupita's light side of this character draws me in more than the dark side of her character, which makes sense because if you think about it, the dark side of her character is a shell of a human being, not a full human being. So there should be more depth behind the eyes with Lupita. All of our other actors, because all of the lines were exclusively on the dark side of the character, it felt like they had zero ways that they fleshed out the light side of the character. So it was almost swapped, where their dark side of the character felt like a full, in-depth, fleshed out version of the character.
You had to eat rabbit, raw and bloody. On Christmas, the girl received wonderful toys, soft and cushy, with the shadow's toys were so sharp and cold, they'd slice through her fingers when she tried to play with them.
You see how even though her voice is very hoarse and like barely coming out, she's still finding ways to find that variation in how she's speaking, which is why if you look at the vocal register between Mai and her, Mai had the hoarseness without any differentiation, but despite that, you feel like her voice is an obstacle to overcome versus everyone else, the voice was just a part of the character. I really love that you can see her like trying to force her voice to do what she needs it to do, which adds another layer of tension into the scene.
The girl met a handsome prince and fell in love with the shadow. At that same time, met Abraham. It didn't matter if she loved him or not. He was tethered to the girl's prince after all. Then the girl had her first child, a beautiful baby girl. But the shadow, she gave birth to a little monster. Hombre was born laughing. The girl had a second child.
How's biz, Ash? Great, especially with the help of Xero accounting software. I can keep my cash flow flowing by giving customers more ways to pay. Yeah! Search Xero with an X!
Now we're seeing the stakes raise in the scene, and we see the hatred boiling over to where we can feel her losing control of herself. And that's what makes it scary, is the fact that there is that moment she starts to lose control of herself. And all three of our other actors had perfect control the entire time. They could have messied it up, so they lost control of themselves more.
Boy, this time, they had to cut her open and take and from her belly.
You see, Lupita is thinking about how truly heinous that would be. And now her light side, it's almost like you can sense her having some form of empathy for the dark side, which again is showing how the dark side is changing her. And she's the only one where the light side of the character has had any impact on the scene, where if you cut her reaction shots out, the meaning of the scene changes completely. Everyone else's, the meaning of the scene is the exact same, but her, there's this moment of fearful empathy.
She named him Pluto. He was born to love fire. So you see, the shadow hated the girl so much for so long. Until one day, the shadow realized she was being tested by God.
Wow. Yeah. She did such a masterful job of showing how you can raise the stakes without having to raise the volume. The fact her voice is in this hoarseness, yet if we listen to it on mute, we would still see the stakes raise. Like, this performance is flawless, both visually and vocally at the exact same time, where you can divorce both sides and you still understand what is going on. Even if she's the only one talking, you see how what she's saying is being impacted by how light side Lupita is responding to what she's saying, which is really impressive considering she probably was just acting off of air. Bringing the intensity that she brought, it's still so clear that they're in the same room. She has no lines, and yet she has a very clear arc. She has a very clear change from beginning to end in a way that we never saw with anyone else. Overall, phenomenal. And I mean, there's a reason she's one of the best actresses of our generation. Now remember, if you want to not only learn from me personally, getting feedback on your own auditions, exactly like the actors you saw in the video, but also take part in our special season of madness, those are the deadlines right there for each month for each competition. And you can find more information by clicking the link in the description or pinned.
Okay, now I think I learned a lot from them two videos. The first one was the stakes, how you show the stakes. That second one was was the flow. Like, even when you're trying to convey something, you can change the flow while still remaining the exact same. I feel like that's why he was trying to say you can change the flow and you should be changing up the flow while it's also remaining the exact same. Think of it almost like a river. A river flows, but it's like, oh, does it? Is a river the right thing? But it stays the same, yeah. A river flows, but it stays the same. So it's like, and yeah, changing up the flow. I feel like that scene, damn, I would do that scene. You wanna know what is next week? We're probably gonna do that scene. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do next week. We're gonna try that scene. I'm gonna find out the script and then we're gonna do it. Okay. The girl. Let me try. So, okay, yeah.
Your trolley says big shop. Your receipt says small shop. Aldi. It's not complicated.
Don't tell me about your problems if you're not trying to solve them.
What do you think? Oh, my,